Before I begin, I want to make one thing very clear. Whether or not you believe this story is entirely up to you. I could be offering you this tale because it happened exactly as I will tell it, or I could have invented the whole thing. Either way, my hope is that, by the end, you'll take something valuable from it. Something that will help you avoid a catastrophic mistake in your financial life. Consider this a warning, a lesson, or even just a story. But trust me when I say the risk is real, and ignoring it can cost you more than you ever thought possible. Now, let me tell you about someone I once knew. Or maybe I didn't. It doesn't really matter because what matters most is the warning in this story. The investor who didn't diversify. And now we're back to me, the person who may or may not have gone through all this. Even if I made up every single word of this story, take a moment to think about it. Haven't you seen something like this happen before? Maybe to someone you know, maybe even to yourself. You see, the lesson remains the same, whether the story is true or false. Don't let the lure of a sure thing blind you to the dangers of putting all your resources in one place. Diversify. Protect yourself. If you found this story helpful, please like, share, and comment. Spread the message, because you never know who might need to hear this before it's too late. Take care, and invest wisely.
I had always been good with numbers. It was like a sixth sense for me. How to manage money, track stocks, predict which industries would thrive and which ones would crash. I had a knack for it. But despite all the calculations, all the forecasts, and every bit of financial intuition I had, nothing prepared me for the disaster I was about to face. You see, I wasn't just an average investor dabbling in the stock market for fun. No, I was someone who believed wholeheartedly in the power of singular focus. I believed that when you find the one, that golden opportunity, you don't spread yourself thin. You go all in. You seize it with everything you've got. That mindset was my fatal flaw. The discovery of the one. It started like any other day, watching the market, scouring news reports, reading financial analyses, and then I saw it. I won't name the company, but it was in an industry that seemed poised to revolutionize the world. They were working on groundbreaking technology that had the potential to change everything. The future was moving in a new direction, and this company was at the center of it. The stock price, while rising, was still within a range that I considered a bargain. The news was filled with glowing reports about its innovation. Industry insiders were calling it the future, a game changer. Analysts were predicting huge returns. I was convinced this was my golden ticket. I did my research, digging into every financial report I could get my hands on. The company seemed strong, its leadership experienced, and its vision compelling. Every sign pointed in one direction: up. My savings account was solid. Over the years, I'd amassed a healthy sum, enough to make a real investment. But here's where I made the first mistake. I didn't just invest a portion of my savings, I invested everything. Every last cent went into this one stock. I remember sitting in front of my computer, heart pounding, as I confirmed the transaction. In one click, I went all in. A wave of excitement surged through me, stronger than any doubt or fear. I was confident I had just made the smartest decision of my life. The initial high, for the first few months, it felt like I had. The stock price climbed steadily, and every day I watched as my net worth grew. There was a thrill in knowing that I had been right, that I had spotted the future before most people even noticed it. Friends started to ask me for advice. They saw my confidence, my growing wealth, and they wanted in. And I, full of pride and maybe a little arrogance, encouraged them. "This is the one," I told them. "This is the future. You'd be crazy not to invest now while the price is still low." I felt untouchable. There was nothing but blue skies ahead, or so I thought. The first signs of trouble. It happened gradually at first, just a few whispers in the financial news, rumors of mismanagement within the company, internal issues that could potentially affect their upcoming product launch. But I brushed it off. I had done my research, this was just noise. But the noise grew louder. Suddenly there were headlines about questionable decisions made by the CEO, some controversial business moves that weren't sitting well with investors. I told myself it was a temporary setback. Every great company has moments of turbulence, right? I stayed calm, telling myself this was all part of the journey. But then something far worse surfaced. The scandal one morning, I woke up to see this company splashed across every news outlet. It wasn't just a bad quarter or a failed product. It was a full-blown scandal. The CEO was implicated in some shady dealings, a hidden offshore account, and alleged fraud that had gone unnoticed for years. It was like a bomb had gone off. The stock plummeted, and I watched in horror as my entire investment, a lifetime of savings, was wiped out in a matter of days. The price kept dropping, and no matter how much I tried to rationalize or hope for a turnaround, the writing was on the wall. The company was imploding, and there was no saving it. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. How had I been so blind? How could I have put everything into this one company without considering the risks? The aftermath, I went through every stage of grief. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression. It wasn't just the financial loss that devastated me, it was the pride. I had convinced myself I was smarter than everyone else, that I had seen something no one else did. But I hadn't. I had been reckless. Diversification. That word kept ringing in my ears. I had read about it, heard countless financial experts talk about it, but I never listened. I thought it didn't apply to me. Why spread your money across several stocks when you knew one would hit the jackpot? I had bet it all on one hand, and now I was out of the game. In the end, I had to start over. And starting over from nothing, let me tell you, it's a long, painful road. The hardest part wasn't just the financial rebuild. It was learning to trust myself again, to approach investing without the same arrogance that had led me to ruin. I had to learn the value of patience, of caution, and most importantly, the value of protecting myself from the risks I couldn't predict. The lesson. If there's one thing I hope you take from this story, it's this. Never, ever put all your eggs in one basket. I know it sounds cliché, but that's because it's true. No matter how confident you are, no matter how promising something seems, there are always risks you can't see. A company can crumble overnight, a market can crash, and your entire fortune can vanish in the blink of an eye. Diversify your portfolio. Spread your investments across different sectors, industries, and asset types. Protect yourself from the unknown. Because trust me, losing everything isn't just a financial blow, it's an emotional one. And it's a blow that many people, myself included, struggle to recover from.